Hi, everybody. I'm Chicago psychic medium and intuitive consultant, Mel Dorr. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, I was going to do YouTube with Linda Grindle. She was going to be on my channel, but we postponed it until next Monday because, as many of you well know, her daughter, Linda's daughter, Nicole, is ill with COVID. Nicole's son, Jaden, also had COVID, but he recovered within a couple days. However, Nicole is still really sick with COVID-19. So a little update, I talked with Nicole a couple days ago and she sounded terrible. But good news is her oxygen saturation rates, that's hard to say, I think are 94, 95%, which is good. You know, Nicole has some underlying lung disease. And so COVID for her is very dangerous. My guides tell me that she will recover and she's going to be okay. Of course, many times a day, I'm sending Nicole healing energy and also Linda Grindle, a lot of healing energy. So we've tentatively set up a time for next week, next Monday, for Linda to be on my channel. And I talked to Linda tonight and I asked her how Nicole was doing. And she said that Nicole has a lot of body aches, a fever, a bit of diarrhea, but she's holding her own. So everybody, thanks for all the healing energy that you've sent to Linda and Nicole. And I'm sure, I know for a fact they appreciate it. So Linda, Nicole, and Jaden, this one's for you. Again, please feel better. And everybody just send lots of healing energy. Also, my friend Debbie and Stuart, my friends Debbie and Stuart, husband and wife, Debbie's mom Gladys had a heart attack and they put a stent in and Gladys is doing well. In fact, our dog Lucky, Gladys loves our dog Lucky. And so as do Debbie and Stuart. And when Gary and I travel, Debbie and Stuart watch Lucky. So Debbie called me today and asked if Lucky could come over and spend a couple nights because Gladys is at Debbie's house recovering. And Gladys loves Lucky. And Lucky, when Lucky's around Gladys, she forgets that the rest of us exist. So Lucky's over there doing her therapy dog stuff with Gladys. Lucky's on a little vacation, but I miss the little stinker. Anyway, so please send healing energy to Gladys. And I think in future videos when I start, I'll kind of list some people who need healing energy and ask everybody to send them lots of energy, healing energy. Boy, I had said a long time ago that with the Trump rallies and those people you see standing behind him and the people cheering and all of that, I had a flash that those people were paid, maybe actors and extras, just to go there so it would look as if they're people genuinely supporting Donald Trump. And of course, I wouldn't put anything past him. And it just kept reoccurring in my mind. So every time I would kind of watch one of those rallies. I didn't watch the whole thing. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I'd jump off a bridge. But anyway, I would think to myself, I wonder how many people he paid. And that thought just keeps reoccurring. And Rachel Maddow tonight said that when Trump announced that he was running for president, I guess Trump's former campaign manager came out and said, indeed, that they did pay people $50 to come in Trump Tower and make it look as if there was an audience, a supporter for Trump. So each one of those people were paid. Trump talks about fake news. Hey, Cheeto, how about fake supporters that you had to pay to come in to make it look like you were all that in a piece of toast? Boy, just gets better and better, doesn't it? And how about this thing with Bill O'Reilly and Donald Trump on a speaking tour? Isn't that like the pot calling the kettle black? Um, my guides had shown me that, I mean, Trump thinks he's so popular, but ultimately that, a lot of his popularity would dwindle. And I guess that the attendance at those rallies has been really low. And so, I guess some reporters reported how many people were at the rallies or something. There were a lot of empty seats. And Bill O'Reilly threatened to sue the reporter for not telling the truth because there were a lot more attendees than that reporter said. Two bullies on a pulpit. Is that what you call a bully pulpit? O'Reilly and Trump, they deserve each other. Ooh, I'd like to be there selling tickets to that circus. I wonder how many people that they paid to attend those. Anyway, I just kind of felt it, saw it as kind of humorous, actually. Today, I have to look at my notes here. Paul Hodgkins, I think, he was an insurrectionist, was sentenced to, I think, 8 months in jail because of his role in the insurrection at the Capitol. I think he was like self-proclaimed reporter or something. I think the judge was rather lenient, but I think the prosecutors wanted him to get more time. But be that as it may, his participation in that insurrection now makes him a convicted felon. I see, and my guides have assured me that there's going to be a lot more convictions handed down, and some a lot more time in jail. I think depending on their level of activity, how many people that were injured, whatever. But this is not over. There's a lot more indictments coming down, and a lot more people that participated in that insurrection will go to jail. I understand that there were some women arrested today because they were peacefully protesting. They weren't insurrectionists. They were protesting for fair voting rights, and they got arrested. And I find it amazing that those insurrectionists, on the day of that insurrection, none of them got arrested. Trump said that they were loving and they were good people. But yet the good people who are out protesting for unfairness end up getting arrested the day that they're protesting. Ooh. Go figure. My guides told me that a lot of Dems and a lot of states are going to stand up against some of these unfair voting laws. And I was so proud of those Texas Democrats who left the state. And I guess when they go back, they might face being under arrest. But boy, I think they went with Senator Manchin, who, by the way, the next day went to Texas because there were some Republicans sponsoring a fundraiser for him. Go figure. But they met with Senator Manchin. They're meeting with a lot of people. And I am just so proud of them that they stood up and they were saying enough is enough. And many of us are standing up saying enough is enough. My guides show me a lot of people peacefully protesting, saying that we will not stand by and allow these voter suppression laws to take place. We demand action. And what the Republicans don't realize, or the Trumplicans anyway, is that they're really succeeding in getting themselves voted out of office. I told you about my vision that I had of Martin Luther King, and he showed me a voting box, and it was all chained up, and people were trying to open it, hands of many colors, and they couldn't get the voting box open. And then all of a sudden there was this big pair of chain cutters that came, and the chains were off, the box open, and all these hands of different colors were putting ballots in the box. So I took that to meant that even though it might appear as if these modern Jim Crow laws might succeed, ultimately they will not. Those chains will be removed and people will be able to vote. You can't suppress people's right to vote. You just can't. And a lot of the Republicans are voting themselves out of jobs, are going to get voted out of their jobs, I'm sorry. So I think the Texas Democrats are meeting with a lot of people in Washington, and good. I admire their courage for standing up and doing the right thing and saying, no, everybody has equal rights. Under the law, we should have. Speaking of such, I think that was it 6 of them, and some have been vaccinated of the Texas Democrats, came down with COVID-19. A couple of them have been vaccinated, I think. The vaccine doesn't necessarily guarantee that you won't get COVID. Well, it's about 90% effective in preventing that. But the other part of it is if you do get COVID and you've been vaccinated, is very mild. It keeps you from dying. It keeps you from going in the hospital. My guides tell me that all of them will fully recover, but my guides show me some people with a megaphone, the old-fashioned megaphone speaking up, and it had vaccine with an X mark through it. And I took that to mean that these anti-vaxxers are going to use what happened with some of the Texas Democrats contracting COVID after they had been vaccinated to say, you see, the vaccine doesn't work, you don't have to get it. That's bull hockey. The vaccine does work. It saves lives. Now, I understand many people can't, many of you can't take vaccine because of medical conditions. I get that. But many people who are anti-vaxxers, they're drinking the Kool-Aid. They're falling prey to the misinformation coming out from, the people around Trump and Fox News. All those newscasters on Fox that tell people, screaming about it's bad to get vaccinated or whatever they're saying. I see lawsuits being filed against Fox News. My guides show me all kinds of legal papers flying around because people that listened and didn't get the vaccine, many got sick, and unfortunately, many will die. So I see lawsuits being filed against Fox News. I don't know if they'll win or not, but I do think that some people will win some of those lawsuits. So Fox, the best thing to do is be honest. This Delta variant is very, very serious. It's very contagious. And for those who haven't been vaccinated, it could wreak havoc. So here again, I implore you, if you don't have any underlying medical conditions, and if your doctor says it's okay to get the vaccine, get it. And while I'm on the subject, a lot of the anti-vaxxers are saying, oh, they can trace you through the vaccine, You don't have to worry about that because I've been making jokes about, no, they can trace you through your cell phone. But Rachel Maddow said tonight on MSNBC that there is a company, I think in Israel, who has invented the spyware, and they can hook into your cell phone. And I think they're selling it to governments and stuff, that you don't even have to click anything on your phone. They can just hook in. And they're afraid that a lot of these countries are going to be using it for, to check on journalists, to kind of see what the opposition is doing, to spy on citizens even. And, that's very frightening to me. That's a violation of our right to privacy. So it'll be interesting to see what comes up with that. just put everything on pause. I had to catch up with where I was. I kind of got ahead of myself. But anyway, this spyware is very frightening. And as I said, uh, it targets, governments can use it to target journalists, activists, and political opposition. So I think there's going to be a lot of litigation coming out about that they can't just hook into our phone without, because it's a violation of right to privacy. I just heard that there's a fire, I guess, in it's called the Dixie Fire in California in the Sierra Nevada, and they're thinking that PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, could very well be responsible for this fire. My guides had showed me a lot more forest fires because of climate change, and I get lightning strikes that can cause forest fires, but I also see a lot of these companies like PG&E and other companies as well being called to task for the damage that they're doing to the environment. A lot more will come out about that. So, folks, climate change is real. It's upon us now. But as I said before, my guides show me that the scale hasn't tipped so far over to where we can't rectify a lot of the damage that's being done. I do see more fires in California. I see some rain coming out west. At some point, that a lot sooner than later, that drought will be over, thank goodness. And here again, I'm sending healing energy to people in Belgium and in Germany that suffered those tremendous losses from those fires. From those floods. We finally got some sunny weather here in Chicago. Oh my goodness. Yesterday and today, it was sunny. Hallelujah. I'm starting to think they blew up the sun. Let me see here. I'm just talking to myself. Now, once again, a lot of people are asking me, will Trump be reinstated in August? No, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. I want to reassure everybody. So let me see here what else I've got. Just a few things. Oh, infrastructure. That infrastructure bill will go through. If the Republicans don't want to do it, then my feeling is they can get it put through reconciliation some way or another, but it will pass ultimately. The other thing is the whole voting rights thing passing the Senate. And right now, it looks like it might be kind of dead in the water, but for the People Act, I love what Senator Klobuchar did. She took it on the road. She is going everywhere. She went down to Georgia, and boy, she's really getting people coalesced to stand up and say, look, we will not let you restrict our voting rights. So, and my guides tell me that she'll continue to do a lot of good work. And ultimately, the Republicans are going to have to listen. Thank you, Mitch. Obstructionist Mitch, Moscow Mitch. The majority of us want these voting rights things to happen. And so the majority of us is finally taking our power back. Yay. And I'm here again. I'm seeing that it's these grassroots movements swelling up that will help make that happen. So, so I think that the Right for the People Act, the Voting Rights Act is right now, it might seem dead in the water, but it won't be, because ultimately I do see sweeping legislation going through the Senate, perhaps after the midterms, that will ensure everyone's right to vote. My guides show me that. And when I saw that vision of Martin Luther King. So that's how I'm looking at that. Sorry that I'm skipping around a bit. But okay. That's about all I have for right now. I just wanted to touch base and let you all know, give you an update on Linda Grendel's daughter. And again, she'll be on my channel next week, next Monday. And so everyone, please stay safe, be well, namaste, and thanks for watching. Everyone, be good. I love you all.